Hi, this is Senorita Feenstad. Hello. I'm going to be reading out loud this book, A Drop Around the World. It is a nonfiction book, even though it just sounds a bit like poetry, but all of the information is facts, so it's a nonfiction book by Barbara Shaw McKinney, illustrated by Michael Madek. Okay. So here is kind of a map of where the raindrop is going to go. Sorry, there's a little bit of a shadow there. But it starts out way over here in the United States and then travels all around, and we'll find out where it ends up. Okay. Nestled in a cloud near Maine, little droplet longs to rain. Though not yet big enough to fall, it waits with others still too small. Then adventure starts to blow. On wings of wind, it's off they go. Sailing in an ocean, moisture feeds the droplet crowd. The journey leads to southern Spain. Droplet has grown, it's time to rain. It falls on the cape of a matador who fights a charging bull once more. But luckily, when red is waved, drop is shaken off and saved. It quickly sizzles in the heat, evaporating in retreat. Then off to Switzerland it flies, mountain climbing winter skies. The vapor freezes in midair, and magically a snowflake's there. Alpine peaks all powdered white invite the snow to spend the night. This delicate and airy flake drifts down on a frozen lake. One April day it melts away, meandering its way toward May. Icy nights refreeze the drop, its solid state commands a stop. But warmer mornings let it flow, stop and go, stop and go. Finally, our drop of rain roars a river's glad refrain, free and fluid, flowing fast, free and liquid, loose at last. Suddenly, the rhythms break. Drops dumped into a man-made lake, a reservoir outside Lucerne, gives drop a brand new job to learn. Pumped and filtered, purified, the health inspector's satisfied. Underground, in a maze of pipe, raindrops now the drinking type. It stops at a spigot, meets a dead end. What's beyond around the bend? When the knob is turned, the secret's out. Clean water drop pours out the spout. Drop runs into a trough head first, where cow laps up to quench her thirst. Raindrop races through the cow to glands that milkify somehow. Mixed up in a pail of milk, it's poured into in a glass as smooth as silk, but slips from Heidi's little hands and forms a puddle where she stands. Puddle drop is warmed away like a helium balloon at play. Its milkiness is left behind. Vapor pure, it's been refined. Sunlight lifts it oh so high to cirrus clouds that fly the sky. Speeding south to desert lands, Sahara waits with thirsty sands. Sand dunes fold their hands in prayer, pleading for some moister air. But like a tease, our drop blows by. No, not a cloud stops by to cry. As vapor adrift at a lazy pace, drop finds itself in a jungly place. Water, water everywhere. Rainforests have such humid air. The air is above the pools, but over land it quickly cools. Its sudden change from warm to cool turns drop to fog. It's nature's rule. Camouflaged in a ghostly sky, it collides with a monkey swinging by. Drop gets a lift on a curly tail to a swimming hole on the jungle trail. Gravity pulls at the drop. Over the falls it cannot stop. Lost in a mist of colored spray, that drop is off without delay. Overseas our drop is sped. On electric flight in a thunderhead, monsoon sweeps forewarn Mumbai as raindrop army storms July. Deep or driven down by wind with force, raindrop has no choice, of course. It floods a gutter, then the street, pushing people off their feet. It swipes a bike and swamps a car en route to an open air bazaar. There it topples a mango cart and vandalizes Asian art. Flooding drops flow back to sea, but in its wake leaves tragedy. Drops take a dive like a submarine, an environmental life machine. It's needed by the fish below to fill their gills, to swim, to grow. Hypnotized by the rolling motion, it's lured down deeper in the ocean. Weight is heavy on its shoulder, squeezed in darkness, drop is colder. Drop surfs a wave to a coral reef, reflecting color beyond belief. There it gently laps the sand, rocking back and forth to land. Australian children come to play by the water's edge this sunny day. They build a tower, sail a boat. Sea drop fills their castle moat. Shallow water warms up quick. Drop does the disappearing trick. Swinging on a breeze trapeze, it's off to meet the Japanese. In Stratus style, without a doubt, drop'll burst its clouds and tumble out. Drenching drop makes gushy dirt, a perfect mud pie for dessert. On a mission, sinking deep, through the cracks it tries to seep, passing worms and bugs that creep, and animals curled up asleep. Avoiding stones and bones that block, it passes through some porous rock. How far down? It's hard to tell. Drop runs into a farmer's well. There it waits till it's hoisted up by a bucket to a drinking cup. That swallowed drop is lost within, yet finds an exit through the skin. As a bead of sweat on farmer's nose, it drips off the tip to his working clothes. Joined by a soap and water team, drop hangs on line and turns to steam. Drop looks east to greet the west. Pacific winds do all the rest. Circling, cycling, drop is dizzy. Changing weather keeps it busy. Cumulus without a care. Where will it go? It knows not where. North wind quickly claim the cloud. No dilly-dallying allowed. Falling temperatures cause a change. Freezing drop starts feeling strange. It flaunts a fancy frosty face and wears a coat of crystal lace. It whirls and swirls in Arctic air and hibernates with a polar bear. Then, much to our playful flakes' delight, 2 tiny cubs are born one night. Together the snowflakes keep them warm, a baby blanket in a storm. Frozen land waits long for spring. At last it comes, a wondrous thing. Melting snow and sunny blaze, dressed tundra in a brilliant blaze. Seeping in the thawing earth, drop finds a seed and gives it birth. When buttercup is blooming bright, drops exhaled in a vapor flight. Next it rides to Jetstream Express, 1,000 miles more or less, a downpour over Yellowstone, which makes the tourists moan and groan. But each drop's needed to make things grow, since the water table's running low. Drop dissolves ingredients like minerals and nutrients. Sucked up the roots of an aspen tree, it makes a fast food delivery. It saves a life and brings relief, then escapes through a hole beneath the leaf. Evaporated once again, will it return? It knows not when. Condensing on a speck of dust, drop heads home in a mighty gust. New England weather brings surprises. What water's there in all disguises? But cruising on the coast today, drop brings rain to Cape Cod Bay. The sun peeks out through a patch of blue before the passing showers through. Raindrops bend each ray of sun like prisms having fun. They paint the sky with colors bright, a miracle of hope and light. Our drop makes a wish from the rainbow aglow, a hope for the future of mankind below. Let the children take care of the water on earth, conserve it, protect it, and value its worth. And that is the end of that book, okay? That was A Drop Around the World. Thank you for listening.